If you want something in life, you gotta go get it, man. Go get it. If you want it, don't sweat it, homie, go get it. If you're trying it, it gets you down, don't let it. Take it from me.
And started from zero. So I didn't come here with a list, you know. So anyway, by December, you know how I did the top tier in December, you guys know this, about the second week in December it's really tough to, you're more or less building the pipeline for January. You can't really make any money late in December, it seems like to us. But all of a sudden, we had these like a couple $100 dropping in the bank account every day. And all I was doing was emailing your stuff a couple times a week. So we pretty much paid for all of Christmas, you know, with Empower Network money. And then my mom passed away in the first week of January. And she was living in North Carolina, so, you know, we stop everything, we get in the car, we go to North Carolina. And so for, you know how it is, you know, for 6 weeks you're shutting down an apartment, you're getting rid of a car, it's all the stuff that goes along with dealing with that, plus the emotional stuff. And so again, it was like a replay of, it was a little bit like a replay of July and August and September, in that I felt like I wasn't really capable of working. But I still had these daily deposits coming in, and that didn't let me, I mentally didn't hit the wall. I was like, we're making money, and I'm not having to do these things that are a grind, and we're still paying the bills, and we're building our bank account, and this is weird. I've never just made money without having to beat the phone all the time. And so we got to, by that time, 3 months in the business, and we were consistently starting to have, you know, you have a 275 day or a 625 day, it's somewhere in that range. You know, you're watching, the trend is always up. It's the low end of the trend was 275, top end was 625, and then 2 weeks later, it's like ratcheted up. It's 325 to 850. You're starting to see the whole thing starting to ratchet a little bit. Does that make sense? Yeah. So you guys announced this contest in March, and that was like what really got my head back in the game after Mom passed, and I was like, man, we can actually make some money here if we actually pay attention to this thing, you know. We still weren't mentally here. We thought this was our side thing.
We're still sort of flicking at it, even though it was really...
Yeah.
It was just flicking money right back at you.
Exactly. It was just really
I'll tell you, Tony, I actually didn't know that, man. I didn't know where you guys were at 12 months ago. I sometimes when I think of Tony Rush, I think of just, you know, a God that sits on top of the clouds and just money just kind of flies into his bank account. It's always been that way. He can walk on water. He can walk on water. I think he shoots lasers from his eyes. I'm not sure. But I think he has a cape on under that shirt. But
just assless chaps.
Assless chaps. Tony, would you Tony, are you going to reveal the assless chaps before the weekend's over? But I mean, the truth of the matter is I'll tell you what, that story right there, listen to that, I don't know what it did for you guys, but that's inspirational. Yeah.
So you were starting, you decided to start to turn it on, this is in March, and you made, I think, like 10,000 in March or something like that.
March was the first month we did over 30. February we did like 16 or something.
So you did 16 to 30.
The contest, that whole contest in March provided me a game to play. Like, man, if I could really just, and I went to that, the webinar you did in February, here's how to make $1,000 a day. I'm like, well, let's do that.
So you didn't like just make stuff up and just do all this crazy stuff. You just got two people.
No custom lead capture. I mean, I was using the weird marketing tricks page.
You still use that page?
Yeah, I love that page.
That's great.
It's weird.
And he loves to make stuff. So that was really actually a really big deal, because one of his hobbies happens to coincide when we are in businesses. He loves to write and he loves to make stuff. But he actually said, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to do what they do.
That's awesome. So you made what last month?
61.
Starting hip-hop like Cedar and Sedgwick. I knew I loved music, ideas sparked the fuse lit. I had talent and knew it, but had yet to prove it. Yo, I ran the ciphers and the show stupid, and when I couldn't